Hafide everyone, this is Becky Tobes and I am the Crafty Chamorrita. I am crossing my fingers because the last three Facebook lives that I've done, I've had one technical issue after another. So I'm really hoping everything works out today. It's raining like crazy right now. So I'm hoping that doesn't interfere with my internet. I was getting ready to go live. I try to go live at 12 o'clock every Friday. But of course, when I was getting ready to go live, I got that notification that my internet was too slow. So I had to pivot. So hopefully what I pivoted to works out well. So if you're watching, whether it's live or on the replay, thank you so much for joining me. As always, I appreciate the fact that you're carving some time out of your busy schedules to be with me. So hopefully today, I will inspire you to try the cards that I'm making. So what I'm doing today is that I am honoring soccer because everyone right now is looking at the World Cup. Aren't those games so exciting? So I have to confess, I was a soccer mom. I'm no longer a soccer mom because my kids are adults now. But my son was playing ever since he was, maybe I think 7 years old. And my daughter started early when she was 4. So my son even made it to the Guam national team for soccer. And we were able to travel to mainland China for a soccer tournament. What an experience that was, you know. And that's one of the things I really appreciate about soccer is it's such a worldwide sport, and really you don't need anything else but a ball. So in terms of the price that or the money that you have to pay to go into the sport, it's not a lot in investment. All you really need is a soccer ball, right? Okay, so anyway, I'm going to be showing you a soccer suite, but I'm also going to be showing you a fun fold just because I felt that it was time. It was time to share a fun fold with you guys. And I just love fun folds, right? Okay, so let me go ahead and change my screen here so that you see what I'm going to be doing. So I didn't put these back into the containers as I normally do, but this is actually part of a collection. It's called a wonderful day collection. I think that's what it is. You guys know me, I'm terrible with titles. And so the bundle comes with a stamp set, which is this stamp set, and it comes with dies. So if you're wondering why it looks like this for me, is because I like to be able to remove the stamps out of out of the containers. So what I did, I'm not sure if I shared this with you before, but before I even used the stamp, I took the whole thing and I stamped it on a piece of cardstock. And then what I do is I tape the thick plastic that comes with it. I tape it to the cardstock and then I cover it with the thin plastic. Okay. And then that way it's easy for me to remove. I like it that way rather than keeping it here and going like this. So in the beginning, I used to do it like that. And then I realized there's a better way that I like it. And I still continue to use the magnetic sheets because I just like that. I like that. Oh, I heard a click. I'm not sure what that means. I always get nervous when I hear sounds. Hi, Beck. It took me a while to get connected. The rain is messing up my Starlink connection. Yeah, me too. So I had to get off Starlink because the internet was too low. And then I went on to my local provider. So right now we still have 2 because we're still testing to see which way we're going to go. It also comes with stars that are embellishments. But of course, knowing me, I don't know where I put it. So it's somewhere. But you'll see from the cards that I make that you can do with it, you can do without it. Okay? And then it comes with paper. Let me grab the paper. Oops. And so this is the kind of paper that, oh gosh, it goes so far because it's so versatile. You can do so many things with it. And to be honest with you, I haven't done a whole lot of stamping because the paper really does the trick. Okay, so let me show you the papers that come in the collection. So it comes with 6 different designs of 2 designs each. So this is one part of it. So what I did with the first sheet is I just cut it down the way it is here so that I can use it for cards. So it's ready. And then the back side looks like this. So I'll show you both sides of it. And then we've got this sheet, and the back side is the black plaid. And then we have the soccer ball. The back side are the trophies. This sheet here, you can fussy cut the designs that are, the images that are here, and you can use it for your cards. So that's what I actually did with some of the cards that I made. I fussy cut it, and then I used it for my card. And then the back side, I love this. This is Granny Apple Green. So pretty. And then here you've got the soccer field on one side. And it comes, just so you guys know, so this color scheme is Old Olive, Granny Apple Green, Green Garden, and Shaded Spruce. Those are the colors in the collection. And then we have, of course, the image that makes the soccer balls. And I love this one because it just ties all the paper together. You've got stripes, and then you've got numbers. So I've used the numbers to put on the jersey, which is one of the stamp sets, right? So that's it for what comes in the collection. All right, so let me first show you. I keep sliding down when I'm on this chair. I think I just get so excited. I get closer and closer to my workspace, and then I end up sliding off my chair. All right, so let me show you the card that we're going to be making. I think it's so cute. All right, so this is it. It's called a mirror card, I think. And if you guys want the dimensions, just message me and I will send you the dimensions, okay? But you'll see it when I go through and I put the pieces together. So it opens up like this. Ta-da! Isn't that so cool? Ta-da! I'll do a repeat. So can anyone tell me why I colored this white and blue? I was actually inspired by one of my demo friends. She's in my team, and I did a masculine class over the weekend, and she's like, oh, I want to color this to match this particular soccer person's jersey. So we looked it up, and she didn't want to do the stripes just because it was a little bit harder. But I said, you know what? Let me try to figure it out for this card. So it's not the best, but it works, right? And then I put the soccer ball here, and then I put the flag. And inside, I put let's go. So this is what we're going to be doing. Okay, so let me get out all of the pieces that we'll need. Let's move some of this stuff out of the way because they're scraps. Okay, so the base of the card is going to be 5.5 by 10.5, and you're going to score it at 3.5 and 7. So I've already scored this piece here. Okay. And then you're going to need 2 pieces of designer series paper. So it's going to be 3.25 by 5.25. Okay. So just make sure if the paper is directional, that you cut the paper in the right direction, because it'll look weird if the paper were facing this way. I wanted it to face this way. So just kind of be aware of the directionality of your designer series paper. And then you're going to need a piece of white cardstock, 3.25 by 5, if the base of your card is not white. If it's white, you don't need this piece because you can always stamp right in the middle. Okay. And then you're going to need 2 pieces of designer series paper. Make sure that they're the same. And it's going to be 1 3/4 by 3 1/4. And then this last one, oh man, I'm so bad. I forgot to write down the name of the person whose tutorial I followed. I looked at different versions of this card, but I like hers the best. And she said she learned from another demonstrator to add this piece to the back just to add a little bit of stability to the card. So this piece for the back is going to be 3.5 by 5.5. Okay? All right, so let's go ahead and get started for this. And I should have grabbed my pencil, and I didn't, so let me grab it now. And I found that when I am measuring, it works better for me if I use the ruler rather than using the ruler on the trimmer. It just works better for me. Okay. All right. So let me see, make sure that I do this the right way. Okay. So I know why I kept it like this. So I scored it this way, but when you guys are ready to start scoring and working with the card, turn it around. Cause I don't know if you noticed this, but this score line is nice and neat and the other side doesn't look so well. So when you fold it, you're going to fold this down so that this is the nice side showing, okay? And because we're going to fold it this way, the ugly side is what I'm going to put here. Okay, so the first thing that we're going to do is we are going to measure 2 inches from this side here, from the top corner. Okay, sorry, I'm going to get my light. I hope this is not going to interfere. Okay, because it's a little bit dark on this side. The light that I use for my setup mostly comes from my left side, so my right side is a little bit darker. Okay, and I need the light. Okay, so I'm going to measure it at 2 inches from the side here, and I'm just going to leave a little tick mark here. You can always go back and you can erase it when you're done. Okay, and then we're going to turn this around and we're going to do the same thing. We're going to measure 2 inches and we're going to leave a tick mark here. Okay. Okay, now go ahead and get your, you can do 2 ways. You can use your trimmer or you can use your scoreboard. I'm going to attempt to use my trimmer because I can see. Hopefully I can see. So we're going to line this up. This is going to go here. See, that's not going to, I don't know if it's just my eyes not cooperating with me. Okay, I'm going to cheat and I'm going to show you something else that I just learned and it works just as well. So I'm going to get my bone folder here and I'm going to line it up to my tick mark and then the corner. Make sure I'm on the right spot here. And using my ruler, I am just going to make a mark here. So I'm going to score it, but I'm scoring it manually. Okay, can you guys see that? Okay, and then I'm going to turn this around and I'm going to use the same tick mark and I'm going to make it go to this line. This line's not showing very well. I'm going to just leave a little mark here so that I can see it. I don't know if it's just my eyes are just getting worse with age. At my last doctor's appointment, she said, it's been 2 years since you've had an eye exam. It's time. And I can't disagree with her. Okay. This mark is a little bit, this is a little bit off. So I'm going to redo it again. And I think the designer series paper that we put here is going to cover that. So I'm not going to worry about it too much. Okay. And then I'm going to turn this around and I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to score. Sorry, let me move this post-it because I can feel it behind it. I'm going to score from the tick mark to the corner of this panel. Okay. And it's a cheater way to score. You can use your scoreboard or you can use, like I said, your trimmer. And I'm going to do the same thing from that tick mark to that corner. Okay, so we've got our score marks here. Okay, I'm not going to fold it yet. Let's take care of all of our cutting and stuff before we start going on to other things. Okay. So now I'm going to take my taller designer series paper, this one here, and I'm just going to cut it at the same time. So what I'm going to do, or not, yeah, I'm going to cut it, but I'm going to leave a mark. So I'm going to measure this 2 inches from the top. So here's 2 inches, and I am right here. And our trimmer, you can put multiple sheets. I think the most designer series paper I've cut at one time was 3. So I'm going to line this tick mark here with the groove on my trimmer. And then the corner, I'm going to align it with the groove here on the top. I hope you guys can see that. And then I'm going to cut. Okay. All right. In case you guys don't do this, if you're finding that your trimmer is not cutting so well, just take a piece of paper and clean it out. Because sometimes the paper that gets stuck in the groove here will, what do you call it? It will prevent you from having a nice clean cut. Okay, all right. And then we're going to do the other DSP, okay? So this one, you're going to do the same thing. You're going to cut it from corner to corner, but you're going to orientate it a little bit differently. So notice when I put this down here, the corner is facing to the left, right? So I'm going to put the corner here, and then this corner is facing towards the left. And I'm just going to cut it like that. Then I'm going to leave my piece here so that I don't mess it up. And then this time around, instead of making it go to the left like the last time, I'm going to make it go to the right. Okay? See, the corner is facing the right. So I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to cut it from corner to corner. Now, you may think that this, oh, it moved a little bit. Sorry, I felt it. You may think that this fun fold is difficult, but it's really not. Once you break it down into its steps and you play around with it, you're going to discover that it's not so bad. Okay? All right, now for the middle one. This one is a little bit trickier. Okay. Let's make sure that I do it the right way. Okay, so it's going to go... Let me grab my card. Okay. I'm going to move this out of the way because we're going to need to do some measuring again. Grab my ruler. So I'm going to measure this 2 inches from one corner. Right here. And then I'm going to do the opposite side, 2 inches. From the corner. Grab my trimmer. And then I'm going to match up this corner of the paper here. I want to make sure I'm in the screen to the tick line here. And I'm just going to cut it. Oh, it's a little bit off, so I'm going to turn it a little bit more. Let's cut this again. Okay. Sometimes when you trim it too closely together to your other cut, the paper may fray a little bit. So I just take my snips and I just cut it off. Or you can do that trick with the nail file. Okay. And I'm going to do the same thing for here. I'm going to take this tick, put it in the line, and then match it up with that corner here. Put both of them in the groove. And then I'm going to cut it. So we've got the middle piece looking like that. Okay. So I think we have all of our pieces cut, right? Okay. All right. So let's go ahead and assemble the fun fold, okay? So when you are going to fold it, this fold here, with this score line is going to fold away from you, and this here is going to fold towards you. So I'm going to help it along. I'm going to fold it a little bit. Oh, I'm sorry. Let me burnish this first, just to make sure that it folds very well, because this is important, so that it folds the way you want it to fold. Okay, so here I'm going to help it along. It's going to fold back. So I'm going to fold this one back. I'm going to fold this one back. And once I have that folded, I'm just going to burnish it again. Okay, so that's folding back. This one is going to fold forward. So I'm going to help it along. And there you go. Should fold well. Oh, I think this is where I had to do 2 score lines, so the paper's confused a little bit. So I maybe have to gently massage it. But burnishing really makes a difference. Okay. All right. So we've got that. And it goes like, okay. Okay, what did I do? Oh, there. It goes like this. It's like, okay, it's not doing what it's supposed to do. All right, so let's go ahead and let's put the pieces together. So this paper, I knew from the beginning, I wanted this one to be in the front. And then this paper will go here in the back. Okay. Sorry, let me grab my eraser real quick. I want to make sure that I erase my tick marks before I glue it on. Just go ahead and erase the marks that I see here as well. Rather do it now before I get glue all over the place. Okay. And let me grab my glue and let's go ahead and put it down. I forgot to change my glue before I started because I could tell it's getting towards the end. And do it to the other side as well. I just love the colors in this paper. It's so pretty, so vibrant. And you know what I discovered? Even though the colors are mostly in the greens, you don't have to stick to the greens when you add other designs to your card. So don't feel like you're going to be limited by the color because you're really not. Okay. All right. Then I'm going to put in my my triangles here in the top. So you just kind of match it, right? This one goes up here. This one goes down here. This one will go here. And this one will go here. The reason why the orientation is correct is because we switched it when we cut it. If you don't do that, it's not going to come out like this. Okay. I want to make sure I get it in the fold. I know watching somebody glue is never exciting, but it's got to be done. Okay. Here we go. Have you guys watched any of the games? I have to confess, you know, watching the games takes a lot of time. So I haven't watched a full game, but I've watched highlights. And I just love the enthusiasm of the crowd. I just watched Norway, and they were doing the Vikings row. Like they have a drum, and then they go whoo, and then the whole audience where the Dutch were at, they were all doing that. That was such a fantastic thing to see. And then also with the Japanese, you know, continuing on their tradition of cleaning the locker rooms and cleaning the stadiums. I think that is so awesome. But, you know, if you understand Japanese culture, you know that they are a very orderly very clean people. So I've been to Tokyo many times, and despite it being a very busy, congested city, it is not dirty at all. At all. Okay, I'm going to leave this part blank because I haven't quite figured out what I'm going to put here in the middle. Not yet. Okay, and it goes here like that. Okay? All right, so let's go ahead and, oh, you know what? Before we do anything else, let me go ahead and adhere this to the base in the back. Just this, remember I told you that this is going to add some stability. So I'm going to put glue, excuse me, on this side because not everything is going to get glued down. I'm being generous with my glue because this is pretty thick. And just kind of match it up because it should fit exactly. And if you're not sure, flip it around so that you can see. Okay, so I'm just going to hold this down and give it a second to to dry. Okay, and let's go ahead and work on the front of the card. So I wanted to show you what I did to make this the way it is. So if you didn't already figure it out, this is for Lionel Messi's Argentinian uniform because it has white and blue on it. Okay, so we're going to do that. Okay, so let me go ahead and get my paper out. Let's get my ink. I'm going to use my Memento because I'm going to use my alcohol blends for this. Okay. I'm quickly using up all my little space that I have here. Okay. Now, I thought I had, here it is. I thought I put it on my work surface, but I just kind of moved it away a little bit. So what I did was I took washi tape. In case you didn't figure that out, I used washi tape and I just created lines. So I'm just going to make it go all the way across like that. I'm not going to worry about, you know, how high or how to go. I'm just going to do it like that. Okay. So I'm actually going over where I think I need to be. And then I'm going to get my Balmy Blue because that seemed to be the closest to the Argentinian color. And I'm just going to color this in. I think most of the uniform is white or equal part blue and white. And because I have the washi tape here covering it, I don't have to worry that I'll get outside the line. I just have to make sure that I don't go over the washi tape. Hi, Fran. Oh, my goodness. Oh, you're watching. Okay. You're watching the soccer game against Turkey. Awesome. Who's challenging Turkey? I'm not following the schedule, so I don't know. I just know that it's exciting. And, you know, I got to admit to people, gosh, you know, when my kids are playing, I get so nervous. I mean, I'm excited for the game, but I'm on pins and needles when they are the ones playing in the game. You know, as parents, grandparents and grandparents, I think you guys can understand that feeling, right? I mean, you're excited for them, but at the same time, it's like, okay, come on, score that goal. And you know, when you watch kids who are really young and they're learning how to play soccer, sometimes they get so excited because they score a goal, only they don't realize that they scored for the other team. So you see parents and coaches directing the kids about which goal to kick to, right? Because sometimes they end up kicking to the wrong team and they inadvertently score for the other team. So those goals are not taken back at all. They just count for the other team. Okay. All right. I think I need to move over because it feels like part of my head is out of the screen. And I always get confused which way to go to because it's reversed here. Okay, all right. I think that's better. I'm more in the screen than I was before. So I'm going to use the dark part now. I'm going to take this off. Hopefully it doesn't rip the paper because that's what washi tape is supposed to do. It's supposed to be so gentle that when you take it off, it doesn't rip the paper. Okay, I think I like this better than the first time I did this. And then I don't know if the bottom part is dark blue, but I'm going to make it a little bit dark blue. And then I'm just going to take my skinny tip and I'm just going to go over some of the colors here just to add a little bit of blending to the coloring that I'm doing. Okay, I think that'll work. Okay, so let me go ahead now and I'm just going to use my, that's my light. I'm going to use my my mini Stamp and Cut and Emboss machine. I didn't measure it. I just kind of eyeballed it. I said, I think it'll fit, right? Let's hope so. And let me get the die for this. And if you discovered that, oops, let me put the plate. If you discovered that the die moves, then just put washi tape or post it here. Turkey versus US. Oh, in LA. Oh my goodness, that must be a dynamic game. So you said Turkey is 2, US is 1 for the first half. Oh, I got to tune into that. Oh, that must be so exciting. Okay, I'm just going to put a little bit of the washi tape there so it doesn't move. And let me just cut out the shirt. If you discover that it doesn't move, it doesn't go through your machine, you just have to make sure that they're not all aligned here. Because if they're all aligned, it won't run through. You have to stagger it. That should do the trick. Sorry, everything shakes. It's a shake, rattle, and roll situation going on here. But I didn't want to cut it out ahead of time because it makes the coloring so much harder. Okay, and we've got our messy uniform. He's so incredible. I mean, that hat trick, my goodness. Such awesome talent, you know. Okay, and what I discovered when I was looking up the more popular players playing in the World Cup, a lot of them, for some reason, seem to have the number 10 as their jersey number. I don't know why. I didn't want to use the numbers that come with the designer series paper because it's going to take too long to cut. Plus, after doing it a couple times, I realized, oh, this is a pain. So you know what? I just looked for a stamp set that I had. This is a retired stamp set. And I figured, you know what? I'm just going to go with that. It's easier. Okay. So I've got messy here. And I have a gold thing here. Oh, I should have cut this out earlier. I know that this is not going to fit in this part of my card. I knew that right from the beginning, but I was okay cutting it. So what I did was I put this on an adhesive sheet. That way everything will stick. Okay. So I know that it's not all going to fit, but I'm okay with that. Okay. Let me get my pick here. You can try using, cutting this out without the adhesive sheet behind it, but to me, it just gets a little bit more difficult to put the glue. I think I want this much of it showing. And then I'm just going to get my scissors that I typically use for sticky stuff. This is my sticky scissors. That way I don't get glue and gunk over everything else. And I don't know if this is worth saving for another card. It might be, so I'll just put it aside. I don't like to throw away scraps because you never know, right? You never know when you can use it. So I'm going to put him here, or his jersey. And I'm going to put him on dimensionals. Okay, this should be good. I know, it's like, it takes so long to take off these dimensionals. And they get everywhere. Okay. So I'm going to put his jersey like that. And then I am going to cut out the sentiment. So I'm going to use, I love this punch. If you guys didn't already get this punch, get it. It's a game changer. And I'm going to use the sentiment, your biggest fan. Ooh, that's nice and dark. I re-inked my black memento for my class, and what a difference it made. Okay, and then I'm just going to punch it out. And then I think I'll just put it down here in the bottom. I'm not going to put it on dimensionals because I want the shirt to be the focal point. Got to make sure I'm not covering up the your. I think I made that a little bit too high. Let's move it down a little bit. And I'm just going to press it from the back. And then I think what I'm going to do for the middle is I think I'm just going to leave it blank. So that way this card can be used for anything, right? So even though the words are soccer in theme, really you can use them for any occasion. Birthday, congratulations, you know, but I think that the person who receives it is going to appreciate the fact that it's a soccer themed card. So if you have people in your lives who play soccer, or just a great set to have around, right? Then I recommend that you get it. Okay, so here's the card that we just finished making. Your biggest fan, and then it opens up and it goes like this. Ta-da! Isn't that pretty? I love it. Okay, and let me show you the other card again that I showed in the beginning. Very similar to that one. Here I did the soccer ball, and I wanted to tell you, so this is a die, the front part of the soccer ball, but I didn't have a circle that I could put underneath it. I looked at all my punches and I don't have a punch that's around this size. So what I did is I just fussy cut the circle. That's all. No, I'm sorry. I traced it. I took the ball and I traced it on the white cardstock, and then I fussy cut it. That way it's as close to matching the soccer ball as possible. And then the inside I put let's go. Okay. All right. And then let me show you the other cards that I made. I'll say, okay, so we've got this card. Do you know who this one's for? So I looked up who are the most popular soccer players because I kind of have an idea, but I just want to make sure that it matches what everybody else thinks, right? So you know who this is for? Any guesses? This is for Mbappe. I don't know if I'm saying it right. He plays for the French World Cup team. So his uniform is this color, and then his shoes are this color. And then you know who this one's for? Can you guess? The red? Cristiano Ronaldo. Christian Ronaldo. And so what I did was I die cut the trophy in gold, and I fussy cut this. This is from the DSP. And that's where I learned that cutting the numbers is a little bit difficult. Okay. It's also a good way to use up your DSP. Yeah, definitely. I really like this fun fold. Okay. And I don't think I put anything in the front. No, I didn't. Okay. And then I just played around with the paper. So this is all the paper. And then I fussy cut this. And then I just stamped thanks for everything. Here's another one. Match Day. These designs came from the designer series paper. This is a stamp and this is the DSP. So you see what I mean? You can do so much with just the DSP. It's incredible. Here's another one, Match Day. And this was the leftover from the triangles that I cut for getting ready for the cards. So that's why I always say, don't throw away your scraps. Use your scraps, because these are scrapped pieces of paper. So is this one. And then this one, I decided to just fussy cut. No, actually, this came in. This is the paper itself. It comes like this. But I decided not to color it. I don't know. I just felt it was really nice that it looked like that. Okay, so these are all of the soccer cards that I made for this sweet collection. I'll take pictures of these and I'll post it. I know for this one, if you want to put a belly band to keep it down, you can. Otherwise, you could just put it on something heavy, so that it'll keep it down. And then once you put it in the envelope, it'll be, it'll flatten up a little bit. Okay. So do you guys like that? It's called, it was weird. So I've seen it called the Mirror Fun Fold, and I've seen it called the Muira, Muira. I don't know if it's a play on the word mirror, or Mira is just how you say mirror in another language. I don't know. But in any case, if you would like, even though I showed the dimensions here, if you'd like to see a picture of it so that you don't have to rewrite it, then just message me and I'll send it to you. Okay, I think that's it for today. If you live on Guam, be safe. We're expecting a lot of rain, and so the roads get pretty hazardous out there. And I'm so grateful that in terms of technology, I didn't have any blips this time around. Thank you for joining me, everyone. I'll see you next week. Bye.